Yahoo! Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love, to Astro Fenixx, flying into the moment once again and radiating love. As always, this is your Moon and Scorpio transit video for January 27th through the 29th of 2019. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. And invigoration is the word that came to mind. It was interesting, actually. I was thinking about what was I going to title this one when I got off of my first shift of work today, because I work a double today, and I'm actually about to go back in, but I wanted to make sure I got this video in before. But anyways, I was thinking about what was the theme of this Moon and Scorpio transit, because, the Moon doesn't like to be in Scorpio, right? It's exalted in Taurus, which means that it definitely doesn't like to be in Scorpio. And it's going to be making some nice aspects, but also some difficult aspects as well. But invigorate was the one that came up to me. And then when I went to go pump gas into my car after getting off of work, I actually saw the word invigorate on like the gas station pump, whatever. It was interesting. So I was like, well, I guess that means it's actually invigorate. And what does it mean to feel invigorated? It means to feel the vigor for life from within. It means to feel that passion and that deep sense of purpose from the inside. Oftentimes, people who feel invigorated or reinvigorated have almost sort of like a new lease on life. They just feel like their life is imbued with purpose again. They feel like they can go get it. And that's actually really how I'm feeling this Moon in Scorpio transit is going to be. Number one, we do have the Moon in Scorpio making squares to the Sun and to Mercury. In fact, at the time of me making this, it's actually making the square right now because the Moon's at about 7 degrees or so of Scorpio. And the Sun is about at 6 to 7 degrees of Aquarius. So it's actually making that square right now. And the Sun doesn't like to be in Aquarius. The Moon doesn't like to be in Scorpio. So it's a bit of a, both of these energies are kind of just like, oh, now we got to deal with each other. We got to deal with this complicated energy. But what's interesting about this is that the Sun is wanting us to detach emotionally a bit so we can look at our circumstances from a bit more of a logical, intellectual standpoint, albeit a creative and innovative one. Not only that, but Mercury is going to conjunct the Sun this week. It's going to get closer to the Sun. And, Mercury and Sun, they're best friends. They love to be together. So this is definitely a very mentally stimulating time. But with the Moon in Scorpio, there's definitely a tendency to get triggered by these deep emotions, these deep things that come from our subconscious. The things that we push under the water. Scorpio in many ways is the iceberg, and how you can see so much above the water, but there's so much below the water. So the Moon in Scorpio is going to be bringing this more up to the surface. It's going to be bubbling up. And now it's like, oh, crap. Well, I can try and look logically at my life and from an intellectual standpoint and try to be detached emotionally. But it's going to be hard to do that because you have arguably one of the most attached signs emotionally in Scorpio. By that, I mean that Scorpio will suppress, and then things will kind of just come out in giant volleys. The other thing about this energy is that what helps the Moon is the fact that it's going to be sextiling all of this Capricorn energy, which, we have Saturn here, we have Pluto here, we have the South Node here. So even though there's pressure right now, you may even feel a little bit of stress to make certain decisions and to move things forward, there is this sort of energy to where it's like, if you really can feel invigorated from deep within, then it'll actually carry you into the future and into the present moment, especially, that is truly resonant with your soul. The other good thing about this Moon in Scorpio transit is that it's going to be making a grand water trine, which will be on Monday, actually. It'll be trining off to the North Node in Cancer, and it will be trining off to Chiron and Pisces. And before it makes those trines, it will make a trine to Neptune as well. So there's definitely this energy of mystical, magical, imaginative energy that the Moon is going to be bringing forth. And that even though we can feel deep into these deeper currents, into these deeper desires that Scorpio is, we have to consider that we are kind of getting some pure Scorpio energy here. And I have to actually look at it, but the last time that the moon was in Scorpio, I'm pretty sure Venus was there. If not, Venus had just left Scorpio. So we're not going to really have like any major karma as it's attached to the Scorpio energy in a while. So this is actually a great moment to actually kind of check over our emotions and to see where we're vibing right now. Because if we can do that and we can really be honest with ourselves, we can really find ourselves moving in the direction that we really do see fit. You know, that's why we have all this Capricorn energy. And like I said, with the trine to Chiron, this is about a deep, deep healing on the emotional level. And then we have the North Node of Cancer, which I've said multiple times that this North Node of Cancer is right now healing a lot of the world karma, a lot of the worldly karma, and a lot of the mother karma as well. We're not really going to notice too much of it on the personal level until the North Node reaches the first 10 degrees of Cancer. Unless, of course, you have your sun in the final degrees of Cancer or any of the water signs, or if you have like a major planet there. For one, I have my moon at 28 degrees of Pisces. So Chiron is on top of my moon. It's been on top of my moon for a very long time. And I do have my vertex at 25 Cancer. So the North Node is like pretty much almost on top of my vertex right now. So I feel a lot of this energy, but a lot of people aren't going to notice it, the healing aspect of this, until later. But this is definitely a time to feel invigorated. Even though it may not seem so, with all these planets in areas that they don't necessarily want to be in, this is definitely time to be invigorated. We still have Mars in Aries. We still have Neptune in Pisces. We still have Saturn in Capricorn. We still have Jupiter in its home side of Sagittarius. And we still have Venus in Sagittarius. We still have a lot of very, very positive energy. But what it is that the universe is really showing us, hey, the dream life that you want, it's actually very much so possible. It is very possible to manifest. And you can and will manifest it, but it does require us to make some difficult decisions. It does require us to be able to jump when the opportunity strikes. That's the sextiling energy that the moon will be making up to Capricorn, because sextiles present to us opportunities. Trines presents presents and miracles. So there is an opportunity that is being presented to everyone right now to strike while the iron is hot, because our hearts right now are being opened up in a way. When the sun goes into Aquarius, it's an interesting thing because the sun doesn't like to be in Aquarius, yes, but that does not mean that, you know, in many ways you think of the sun, you think of creativity, you think of the Leo energy, you think of love. It doesn't mean that Aquarius is void of these things, not at all. In fact, Aquarius understands like this depth of love that really no other sign can really get, and that's the benefit of that Aquarius has being opposite of Leo. It's this otherworldly love to really embrace and accept someone for their uniqueness and who they are. And to there may be some decisions that you are going to make over the next couple of days that may sort of, I hate using this word, trigger certain emotional reactions within you, or you may have reacted in a particular way in the past. But the King of Cups is really asking you to have more compassion for yourself and to have compassion for other people. That this is a time to not really get down on how things look right now. This is not a time to really marinate in the muck and the grime and all of that shit. I will be just pretty much be straight up blunt and honest. It's not a time to really be in that. If you feel like you are in a situation like that, do the Aquarius thing and detach a bit. Detach and look at it objectively. Become the eternal observer, which you are, but tap into the perspective of the eternal observer and see your situation as simply that, a situation, a circumstance, something that is not permanent. Because it's not permanent, right? Yeah, we have fixed energy, but even fixed energy moves. Even fixed energy moves over time. So that is it. That is really it. Feel invigorated, move forward, know that you are being given incredible opportunities to expand your life